What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. Big shout out to my doggy King Ease for coming through and boosting up the coin. So it's all kicking off right now. I've just leaked the Tyson Fury versus Usyk undercard, which is underwhelming. In fact, it's a flop to say the least. However, whilst his turbulency is falling / fell off, the governing bodies are somewhat doing their job right now. We've got two major leaks for you, man, that no one heard before. Martin Bakole has been ordered to fight AGYIT Kabayel for the IBF final eliminator. Here we go. Let's put your man onto the story here. The IBF has ordered a final eliminator bout for Martin the Bull Bakole and AGYIT, coming for your soft body Kabayel, to determine the mandatory for Daniel Dubois. Talk Sport understands. Bash! This is the right play, folks. This is a banging play right here. Listen, this isn't the play I'd have hoped for, but ultimately beggars can't be choosers, and at first glance I'm at risk here of becoming a hypocrite. Yeah, part of me wants to say, well, I'd like to see Bakole built. I'd like to see him get a Wilder or a Dillian White. But listen, here we are. We got Kabayel. This is an industry fight essentially now. Yeah? What are these fucking much doing? Hey, stop bouncing around, man. Too much noise. What is this? Kids Kingdom? What is this? Kids Kingdom right now? You know what I'm saying? Stop jumping on the floor. How hard is it not to jump on the floor? I'd love to understand. Bare annoying. Anyway, where was I? Kabayel and Bakole. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, the kind of the man fan in me and the kind of casual, sexual in me, I want to see Bakole and White, man. That's what I want to see, but we ain't gonna get that. It's done now anyway. But YB, let's focus on what's happening now. This is a banging industry fight, essentially. Banging top level fight. I just feel a bit sorry for Bakole. I feel sorry for Bakole and Kabayel. One of them cats has got to lose. I'd like to have seen some semi-final playoffs, right? That's what I'd like to have seen. Kabayel versus Parker. Listen, I'm biased against Parker. Maybe that's my problem here. I want to see Parker. I want to see one of these guys eat on a Wilder or a White or a Parker. That's what I'd like to see, because it only makes these type of fights bigger. But here we are, people. End of the day, it's a banging fight. I'm just sad. That's what it comes down to. I'm sad that one of these guys has got to lose at this point. Kabayel, he's taken out two top guys. Makhmudov, then Fanderal. Yeah? Then Fanderal, man. he's in the Fanderal through and through, Makhmudov, man. He punch up Makhmudov. He punch up Frank Sanchez, the biggest boogeyman of all time. And now he gets thrown in there Bakole. I don't know who wins this fight. In fact, you know what? Let's see if we can get some odds on this. Bakole versus Kabayel. Odds. You'd lean with Bakole. You got any odds yet? No odds. That's a shame. Maybe Sky Bet will. Sometimes this site has odds actually. Let's have a look here. Any odds? Nope. Predictions? No, I don't want predictions. I want odds. This site, sometimes it puts the odds on here. Here we go. No, that's not it. Let's have a look on Sky Bet. Sky Bet are usually quite quick. They're quite quick on the... Okay, it's not been put up yet, but we'll keep on top of that. Let's have a look on Odds Checker as well. We'll keep in the mix on this one. Where would you lean at this point? Where are you going to lean? How do you search on this pagan site? Bakole Cab. Okay, there's nothing on there, essentially, folks. There's no odds right now. But I'd lean towards Bakole, but we're going to find out now. That's what we're going to do. We're going to find out what Bakole is about. All them sparring stories, all them sparring war hero stories, we're going to find out now. Because Jared Anderson, that's a great win for him. He was a big underdog. I love that for him. But ultimately, Anderson was sweet. Anderson ain't a punk. He did try to fight, but he ain't proven. Kabayel has got it out of the mud. Yeah. He come from the back arse of nowhere. He was going life and death with Derek Chisora. I think Chisora won that fight. And he's come on to stopping people to the body. That's name me a fighter who stopped two up-and-coming prospects to the body. It's hard enough to get a stoppage full stop. That's phenomenal. Yeah? You'd lean with Bakole, but we're going to find out. Kabayel ain't going to be no punk. Kabayel ain't going to roll over and get his belly tickled. And he's not an Anderson. Jared Anderson ain't taking out no Makhmudov or no Frank Sanchez. For all we know, Frank Sanchez probably would have boxed the head off Jared Anderson, realistically speaking, right? That's Kabayel. Kabayel ain't no punk. I don't believe he's been stopped before. That said, he's never had Kabayel, but I don't think he's ever had a real... He went life and death with Chisora like 10 years ago, but he's never had a real top fight. Let's have a look. He merkled off Makhmudov. He merkled off Frank Sanchez. And the rest of them, Kevin Johnston, he went life and death with. So I don't know. It's difficult to understand this, really. How are you going life and death with Chisora, apart from the fact it was 8 years ago? A lot can change in 8 years. How old is he? He's 32 years. So listen, he was 24 back then. That is young for heavyweight. Really, as it happens, the cliche is heavyweights mature around 30-ish. Early 30s. He's early 30s. So he may have been green against Chisora, and he's found his rhythm. One thing I'm happy to conclude now, it's a bit like, for me, the way I think about Kabayel's career is a bit like Maximus Danelius Dubois. The first part of his career, there was signs there. Well, there was no signs for Kabayel, to be quite frank, but there were signs Dubois could be good. And then he's come into the next season of his career. Kabayel, whatever, his early career was whatever, and there's no doubt, two back-to-back performances like that, you can't say they're chance. You could say, okay, Makhmudov's no good, that was lucky. The Frank Sanchez one, Frank Sanchez was undefeated, there was no signs. He's from Cuba. He's supposed to be one of the hungriest dudes on planet Earth, right? He's fresh off the boat. Yeah, he's fresh off the collaborator Fidel Castro boat. He's supposed to be hungrier than an MFer to eat. He got stopped to the body. That's phenomenal. Stopped to the body, people. That can't be overlooked at all. Frank Sanchez had to go on F.A. Jagba. He popped Jagba's in the top 10 ring magazine now. He put a Jagba down, popped him right in his mouth. So that's what he's done. Frank Sanchez has put down a Jagba, popped a Jagba's cherry and beat him. And Kabayel stopped this guy. So Kabayel's legit. Looking at Bakole's history, Bakole and Hunter had a good fight. Bakole couldn't stop Yoka. So really, I've got to be honest, man. These two cats here, you can sit here and say, well, but AGYIT Kabayel couldn't stop Chisora 8 years ago. Bakole couldn't stop Yoka like 2 years ago. So I've been saying it for a while, but I like Bakole. But there are still questions about him. I think it's more likely Bakole was just lucky against Jared Anderson than Kabayel. That's how I feel to say right now. That's what I feel to say. Because, listen, Frank Sanchez, he popped F.A. Jagba. Jared Anderson don't have no F.A. Jagba on his resume like that. Makhmudov, you could say, was lucky by AGYIT Kabayel, if that was all he'd done. Right, okay, you got a lucky stoppage against a big stiff in the Fanderon. Yeah, but the Frank Sanchez is legit. Bakole hasn't got that, okay, you got a legit win yet. You can look at, what's his name, Yoka. He couldn't put Yoka down. Tony Yoka. He couldn't put Tony Yoka down, and he went to points. So how ferocious are you? Yoka didn't want to fight. Yoka's got the Audley Harrison gene in him. He didn't want to fight. Ultimately, he didn't want to fight. But you couldn't stop him. You could have walked it. Right, if you're really this old school, kind of Congolese, conflict diamonds type cat, yeah, you should have been on Yoka. Yoka's new age. Yeah, he's not La Resistance. He is the bourgeoisie. He is King Louis. That's what he is. Soft. Psychologically soft. Olympic gold. King Louis. Bourgeoisie looking out. So you walk into him. As a Congolese conflict diamond miner, you're supposed to be on the French bourgeoisie. That's what's supposed to happen. Instead, I think France might have been the one to colonise Congo, actually. But anyway, I think they speak French over there. The fact of the matter is, you should have been on the coloniser's arse. That's what you should have been doing. Yeah? Instead, Bakole, he beat him up, but he beat him up. Let's have a look at Yoka's face after the fight. Tony Yoka, Martin. So there's still questions for Bakole. And this is the question, these questions now will be answered. And to some extent, the questions wouldn't have been answered against Dillian Whyte because he'd have smoked Dillian Whyte. The questions wouldn't have been answered against Wilder. He'd have smoked Wilder. This is, if Bakole runs through AGYIT Kabayel, he legit. If Kabayel runs through Bakole, he legit. God forbid Kabayel stops Bakole to the body. God forbid that happens, man. And I gotta say that, Danny D, we're here now. There's no hiding now. This ain't like we're coming into the new age of heavyweights now. There was a lull, a big recession. Even though AJ was the money man, ultimately looking back, it was a recession. When Povetkin, Pulev was the top of the game, that had been the case for 10 years. Vlad had to go on Pulev and Povetkin. They were the top of the game at that point. And they hang on in there, being top of the game, whilst AJ was reigning and such. That's soft, man. I'm sorry, I don't believe Povetkin or Pulev would do nothing with Kabayel or Bakole, ever. I don't believe it. Look at Dillian Whyte, people. Yes, Povetkin is really old, yeah? Dillian Whyte's no good. Dillian Whyte punched Povetkin all around the place. Does that make sense? Vlad couldn't even get, and you can say, Povetkin's old or whatever, but heavyweights don't get that old at 38, I think, wherever he was. I think Povetkin was 37, 38 when he fought. Let's have a look how old he was. Povetkin, if Povetkin was 37, that's not that old for a heavyweight. Lennox Lewis retired at 38, so 37, look at Usyk, he's 37. 37 isn't that old. How old is he now? Oh no, that's not right. Where's his birth date? Birth date on here? No birth date. Let's have a look. We fought Dillian Whyte in 2020. 2021, he got knocked out. Let's have a look. Box rec. So it's about 4 years ago. 45. Okay, so he was 41 when he fought. So he is old. He's old. Ultimately, he's old. Very old. Still. Povetkin for me is even in Povetkin's prime, he would have fit nicely in there with a prime Dillian Whyte is the point I'm making. A prime Dillian Whyte is not a Bakole. Doesn't have the punching power, doesn't have the finesse. I don't even call him an AGYIT Kabayel. What up and coming bull, yeah, did Dillian Whyte stop to the body? Let's have a look at Dillian Whyte's career. Who has he stopped to the body or head who's up and coming bull? Who? Rivas, you went life and death and got put down, so forget about that. Chisora, you went life and death and he was losing and then got a lucky punch. You haven't put down. Parker, you went life and death and that could have gone either way. So White hasn't never stopped. That's why I never got this talk about his left hook and how he's really good. He went life and death with Dave Allen, life and death with Chisora. People, painted toenails David Hay had to go on Chisora 10 million years ago when he was fresh. So I've never been sold on Dillian Whyte, but that's the kind of... Dillian Whyte, Povetkin, Pulev, they sum up the crop for the last 15 years. It's been that Dillian Whyte, Povetkin. They've been the best of the bums, essentially. Throw Wilder in there as well. That's been the quality of heavyweight. Can't punch, soft bodies, and just not appealing. We've now got Bakole. He knocked people out, knocked prime prospects out. AGYIT Kabayel, stopping prime prospects to the body. Dubois knocking out all the washed up 2010s to 2024, all washed up. Throw AJ in there, throw Fury in there, all them heavyweights there. Fury, AJ, Dillian Whyte, Povetkin, Pulev, Vlad, they're all the bum heavyweights. We're getting rid of them now. We've got nothing but bulls. Yeah, we've got nothing but AGYIT Kabayel, stop your ass to the body. Danny D just run straight through you. Zhang pop you in the mouth. Zhang pop Joe Joyce, prime Joe Joyce, right in his mouth for him. Bakole. Yeah, this is how the heavyweight game is supposed to be. There's supposed to be a threat of getting a knockout. Dillian Whyte going life and death with Dave Allen, life and death with Chisora, life and death with Jermaine Franklin, life and death with Povetkin, life and death with Whack. How do you go? How can you be a top heavyweight and go 10 rounds of Whack and life and death? 10 rounds with Rivas and gets put down. Come on. It's not how it's 12 rounds with Bumlenius. That's not how... Dillian Whyte was never in the Fury and the Wilder and the AJ leagues, but really, he was like the next tier. That next tier now is the Kabayel, the Zhang, the Parker, people who are doing something. Not so much Parker, he can't punch. He don't stop no one. So Parker, for me, he is categorically part of the old age. Parker is from that Vlad, AJ, Dillian White, don't knock no one out age. Or they're all old bums who they knock out. AJ went life and death for Pulev, 11 rounds, boring, no one want to watch that. Life and death with Takam. So this is the new age. Yeah, back to the old school. And we're going to find out who's really about it. I'm not sure. It's a toss-up. Will I bet on it? I'll see the odds. If I see Kabayel as a massive underdog, like a 3-1 underdog, I'll throw some money on him. If I see Bakole as a massive underdog, 3-1, I'll throw some money on him. If it's 50-50, I ain't going to touch it. This could go either way. This is a true... Bakole Kabayel is a true 50-50. Essentially. I can see arguments each side. I want to see... Don't forget, Bakole had it all his own way in there with Jared Anderson, to be fair. It was never going left for him. And he fought well against Hunter. I watched that fight back just to check things. He fought well against Hunter. Hunter was giving it to him, though. And we yet to see... Against Bakole versus Yoka, he had it all his own way. We yet to see Bakole. People, we all know Daniel Dubois was great as an on-top fighter, right? He was great at bowling people over. When you get resistance, that's when you find out how good someone really is. That's why I have Dubois number 1 now. Usyk's up there as well. I've seen Usyk come back from adversity against Fury and AJ. In the 9th round against AJ in the second fight, and the 6th round against Fury. I've seen him come back from that. That's what holds value in my court to now. I'm not interested in people who knock people out and don't want to fight when it comes... Do you know what I'm saying? Can give it out but can't take it. Yeah? I don't want all the Donnies out there who can give it out, take that, but don't want to take no licks themselves. That's whack. That's corny. That's new age. Dubois has proven he can take a whole bunch of licks, no problem, and come back fighting. Even with AJ, he rocked him allegedly, and he come back fighting. Kabayel, I'm not really sure actually how them fights went, but I think Frank Sanchez was mixing it with Kabayel. So yeah, listen, there's questions on all sides. There's questions on all sides in this fight. We might find out Kabayel gets punched a few times and he gets worn, which is natural. He gets tired and a bit worn because Bakole's a big old bull. I think he's about 300 pounds now, Bakole. A big old 300 pound Congolese conflict diamond mining bull. You understand, people? Not just the wrong name, actually. I'm looking for Bakole. It's not going to be on there, is it? Yoka. Bakole, but here we go. Martin. And even look. So you look at Martin Bakole. Martin Bakole beat Yoka, but then so did Takam in the same fashion on points. So it makes you question. Takam's 50 trillion years old. So Takam beat Yoka in a similar fashion to Bakole. And this was only 2 years ago. So you have to believe Bakole suddenly transformed. You can't stop Yoka. You beat a Yoka, which at the time was revealed as a great win, an undefeated dude. But then 40-year-old Carlos Takam went in there and did the same job. It's like, how hard does this guy really punch? With someone who's got a solid base, like Kabayel does have, who can actually box. Anderson, I don't know what he was. Anderson reminds me of the great United States Hope. That's how it had that kind of shtick to it, the flashy Adrian Broner-esque. But we saw what happened to them Adrian Broner type cats. They get popped in the mouth by an old school diamond miner / Marcus Maidana, and they don't really. Oh, I don't really like to fight now because I'm from the States, kind of thing. They're soft, that hip hop type of shtick. Oh, I want to make rap videos. That's the vibe I got from Jared Anderson. Oh, I don't really want to fight. I want to make hip hop movies and make some lyrics, spit some bars. That's the vibe I got, and it turns out that was the vibe. Got punched up, can't fight for toffee. Nah, it's not fair. Jared Anderson, he did try to fight. He's not a complete punk. He didn't roll over and just jack. So, yeah, man, salute for this fight. I can't wait to see it. Anyway, how long have I talked for? Oh my God, 20 minutes. I've completely forgot about the other fight. The other fight we need to get to now. Janibek Alek Muluhani versus HAMZA SHEERAZ, title fight ordered by WBO. Now, the actual leak I had is both belts. I believe Janibek Makmouli. Let's have a look at Janibek Makmouli. In fact, let's give you the news first. The WBO has called for negotiations between unified, so it's unified, he's got 2 belts, unified middleweight title holder Janibek and HAMZA SHEERAZ to begin. So, his unified champion, I believe it's the WBO, and let's find out. The purse bids have been ordered for the WBO, but by necessity it means that Janibek will also defend his other belt. So HAMZA SHEERAZ has been ordered for purse bids for this fight against Janibek McMooley, who just fought at the weekend. And I said a little while ago, I think after HAMZA SHEERAZ fought on the AJ card, I said that I've got HAMZA beating this guy, and I hope the odds are good enough. There's a few kind of Habib cats who are rating this McMooley guy, but I think HAMZA punches guy up. HAMZA's too big. I believe HAMZA is a cruiserweight. Seriously, I think HAMZA. I don't know what's going on there. I think HAMZA is working. If this fight, or inevitably this fight is going to happen in Saudi, I believe. There's no way this fight doesn't happen in Saudi. So my point is, I believe as long as HAMZA's fighting in Saudi, man, he's weighing in 200 pounds. It might show on the screen 160. He's not 160. Not on your Nelly is he 160. He's not. He's 6'3". His legs are thick. His arms are like, what the fuck? Look at him. Look at the size of the guy. He's not 160. He's not. They're doing something with the scales. So McMooley's going to look about 4 foot tall when he's in there with HAMZA. And HAMZA, his chin, I think his biggest weak point is I do think he'll end up being chinny. But can McMooley, Janibek McMooley, can he touch it? SHEERAZ. Let's have a look at the size of this guy, man. I guess he's quite skinny up top, actually, but either way, he's too big. He's not 160. I can tell you that for free. He's probably 175 plus, 180 probably. He probably gets in the ring 200 pounds 10. That's what I believe he gets in the ring as. He's no way he's 160. There's no way he weighs in at 160 legitimately. Yeah, Turkey's hacked the Wi-Fi on the smart scales, and they're bugging the numbers there. There's no way he's actually weighing in 160. He weighs in probably 180, and on fight night is 200 pounds. That's what I believe happens, because he just looks massive. It doesn't look right. It looks like it's a Tank Davis fight. You know, in Tank Davis fight, they're midgets or whatever else. That's what it reminds me of. Like, whoa, this guy looks 4 weight divisions bigger. That's HAMZA, and McMooley will be the same. Janibek McMooley, Ali McMooley. That cat there, he get punched up. Because I've watched his last fight. It was a good scrap. But he fought this guy, Andrei Mikolovic. It was a good scrap, but I'm going to show you some clips now, actually. And I'm hoping the odds for this fight, I'm hoping the odds for McMooley, Ali McMooley, Ali Kamukuli. Okay, that cat there, Janibek. I've watched some of the fight that he had at the weekend, but he's too leaky, man. He's too leaky. Let's watch some bits here. I can only play a few seconds at a time, but I think I've set it up. He's a southpaw, which may make it trickier, but the southpaw situation is, SHEERAZ is so tall, his long right hand will be like a jab. He'll be able to touch McMooley with it, and McMooley will be standing there just getting pinged in his head. And McMooley's leaky as well, I've got to be honest. McMooley is leaky, although he's quite tall as well. Let's have a look how tall HAMZA SHEERAZ is. HAMZA SHEERAZ. Allegedly, McMooley is 5'11". HAMZA is 6'3", so there's 4 inches. It's going to look massive, that's for sure. But watch these highlights from McMooley. Watch McMooley fall short with the backhand, the right hand. Watch this, the left hand. Here we go. Let me just talk in the screen a bit. Trying to get off the copyright. Watch him fall short with his left hand. You can't really see it in quick motion. Let me slow it down. So like, here we go, perfect example. So he falls short, and this guy was a standard solid. He's a standard. Andre was a solid dude. He's like a C-level dude, generic C-level title defense type dude. No kind of riz to him. Not like HAMZA. This guy's got no top level FIFA scoring skills. That makes sense. And Janibek was having a fight with this guy, with a C-level kind of average dude, average across the board type dude. And you see these things here, when with Janibek, he's falling short. The whole side of his right side's open, loose as a goose. If you're falling short against a man who's your own height / a little bit smaller, if you fall short like this, you're leaning in, you're losing the foot in the back, and your beak's in the air like this, you've leant right into it. This looks like Jake Paul. Yeah, and I'm telling you now, all the Janibek, Khabib kind of cats who are telling me you're going to punch up HAMZA, I'll take your coin. And I'm hoping you, man, I hope there's enough Khabib cats out there who boost this guy up, yeah, to make this a 50-50 fight, because I'll be cashing out. I haven't put a 500 quid bet on I've been too broke, but I'll put $500 on HAMZA SHEERAZ popping this guy right in his mouth. Because if HAMZA's tight, the only question with HAMZA is I'm not sure about his chin. But apart from that, he's tight, man. His defense is tight, and he knows how to use his range, and he's jabbed like a ramrod. So when Bakole is falling in, as he's never, people, if you're falling in with someone, the guy who's fighting doesn't have phenomenal feet or phenomenal speed or anything, or phenomenal power. If you're falling in with this type of caliber dude, and you're ending up like this, God forbid what you're going to be doing when you're trying to overcome. Usually, people overreach when they're trying to overcome someone's natural abilities. So, for example, when a short fighter fights a tall fighter, it can lead to the tall fighter leaning in, overreaching, right? Or if their opponent's significantly quicker, it can lead to the slower fighter leaning in, having to overstretch themselves to try and hit the target. Or if someone's speed, height, those kind of elements, you're in there overreaching against this dude. What happens when HAMZA's up there, 6'4", and you have to lean in? Oops. And you're leaning in leaky, and HAMZA, not sums up, but this is what Janibek does. There's huge gaping holes there. Yeah? And he was doing this all night. Over-leveraging, over-leaning, and ending up off balance, and his chin's in the air, no man's land. His hands are in no man's land. And someone like HAMZA, who has them 4 inches in height, and he can see the things coming, because when you fight, when you've got 4 inches of height, it feels like your opponent's fighting in slow motion. You have bird's eye view. You can see everything that's coming. That's how it feels. So when the Janibek guy's over leveraging, HAMZA going to get him out of there. Let's watch some more, because there was a few more clips in this segment. So he's boxing here with him. Here we go. This is the bit here. Watch this exchange here. So he's kind of doing this. Look, he's coming in, swinging. This guy's average, right? He's coming in, swinging. Both his hands are by his waist. His chin's out there to be tapped. Here we go, another one. Sorry, people. Sorry, folks. All the people telling me, oh, IB, you're only picking up the bad parts. No, this is what he's like. Yeah, he's throwing hooks, and he's throwing hooks, leaning in. Both his hands are down, and he's wailing, and he's falling short against a man. And to be fair, this cat's waist movement's not the worst, but still, if you're falling short and throwing shots like this against HAMZA, leaky shots, both hands down, just flailing, you're gonna get clipped. That's for sure. And I'd argue that Bakole, the only chance Bakole has is somehow to hit HAMZA SHEERAZ on his Amir Khan. That's his only chance, which could happen, but it's a punter's 1 in 10, 1 in 100 type chance. That's the chance I'd give him. If it comes down to fighting skills and whatnot, and if anything, his aggressiveness and the fact he likes to just swing his hands together and lean in and lunge in and try and slap away, he's going to get knocked out quicker. If that makes sense. Because HAMZA is a sharpshooter, and he's got 6 inches of sniper range to get that kind of movement, to get them kind of things off. And his feet aren't bad. So you can see him here over-leveraging, leaning in. And he's smiling kind of thing, falling in. But you can't be falling in with your hands down against HAMZA. You can see this kind of scrappy stuff. It's kind of all scrappy. You don't get the Triple G. You wouldn't see Triple G slapping around with his hands by his waist. Yeah? He'd be coming in, bent over, weight going forward, working from this kind of base here. Chin down, working from here. Janibek, it's like he's trying to be a pressure fighter, but he's loose as a goose. He's slinging hands from his waist, and he's happy for his weight to go backwards. You'd rarely see Triple G happy, even if someone was trying to clinch. You'd never see Triple G with his legs crossed up here, kind of falling back. He's leaning into it, looking to work. Janibek's just trying to slap away. Here we go, another one. Another swing and a miss. Another one there. These are the highlights, folks. It's the best it got. Watch this swing and a miss. Swing and a miss, again. And this guy and all that. This guy isn't sick. You can see this guy here is as tall as, if not shorter than Janibek. And Janibek's falling short of an average speed, average skill type dude. Falling short every single time. All the big shots, loading up, being off balance. He's going to get punched up by HAMZA. And I pray to God that Habib Kat's bet on this guy, man. Because he will get punched up by HAMZA. And the only way I'll be wrong now, there's no way he wins a fight without clipping HAMZA, which is possible. I'm not massively sold on HAMZA's chin. I think there's some Amir Khan there. Genetically speaking, one of them ones. There is some Amir Khan there, genetically speaking, allegedly. Some people that say, not my opinion, but some people are saying there's some Amir Khan there, hereditarily speaking. But outside of that lucky kind of shot, he's toast. And I don't even think he's got the skills. It's not like he's Triple G. If we were talking about Triple G coming back against HAMZA, I can say, well, Triple G, this ain't even Triple G type lucky punchness. To be quite frank, I'd only give Triple G a lucky punch chance against Janibek. Against HAMZA now, because he's too old. But Janibek, he doesn't even have the... I'm not sure he's got the capacity. He couldn't catch this guy with a lucky shot. Took him 8 rounds. And this guy wasn't the best either. And most of the time he was missing. So yeah, you can watch it yourself. But that sums up the fight for me. And HAMZA will win. Let me see if there's any odds on that. Because I wouldn't mind getting some action. Odds checker. Probably not yet, but that is intriguing. HAMZA Sheeraz. Let's have a look here, folks. Nope. There's no odds out yet. Anyway, 2 great fights though. And hopefully, they're talking about the AJ and Dubois card 2, the rematch in February or March. Hopefully these fights, Bakole and AGYIT Kabayel, and HAMZA SHEERAZ versus Mahmoudi. Mahmoudi? Call him Mahmoudi for now. Janibek Mahmoudi. Hopefully they get on that undercard. Because right now, Riyadh season's kind of half fell off. So we need to bring it back. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, folks. Smash the like button, subscribe, let off the bell 100%. There's no doubt about this one. People stop it.